Hey guys, what's going on? Moose here with Moose Survival and Tactical. Got another BattlBox unboxing today. So we're a month since the last unboxing. I've already been through this box, opened it up, kind of checked things out. I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to try to be less of a talking head, try to give a little more demonstration on stuff today. So we're going to see how that goes. So I'm going to try this out. Let me know what you think in the comments. But anyway, we're going to get into it. Excuse me, allergies got me. So kind of going to do two things. I'm going to pull items out, and I'm going to talk about them real quick, but then I'm also going to show kind of how they're used. So we're going to go through it with that. So this is this month's sit rep card. As you can see, it's a self-reliance box. Total value of this box is $261.56. First off, we got the Speedy Stitcher Sewing Awl. So, Speedy Stitcher. These things are really neat. It shows a bunch of different things that you could potentially use it for. Never used one before. I watched a couple of videos to try to figure out what I'm doing. So, we're going to get into it. Hang tight. Okay, so this is going to be my setup. So I've got my Speedy Stitcher set up. Probably should have picked an easier project to start with, but it's something that I have an immediate need to fix. This is my 3V gear bag. I did a review on this. I've had a pull here for a little under a year now, maybe a little over a year. Just pop the stitching. So we're going to see how well that works. Now this is Cordura nylon. So we'll see. So, the way it starts, Speedy Stitcher, line through, and I'm just going to start right here in the corner. This thing's made to go through leather, so surely to goodness, I'm going to overkill this a little bit. I can hear it popping through seams. There it is. So there's that through. Alright, so now then they say what you're supposed to do here is put it through. Your needle comes back out here. I don't know if I have enough thread here for that. Let me pull some excess this way. Let's try that. Uh-oh, I'm pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to go. Let me feed that back through. Get that working for me again. Alright, oh crap, I got one line of string that didn't want to go, and so now my whole thread looks off. I'm just going to do this just to get me through. Alright. So there's that. See if I can get some line pulled through here. This might be too thick of material. You're supposed to pull out enough to complete your project, and then they say about 3 inches extra. Oh, so that might have been my own fault why that was happening. I might have had it too taut. Loop that again because that's supposed to be. So yeah, there's that right there. Now I've got to go through this process again, right? It's probably going to be one of my longer videos because I'm trying this, but hopefully you guys like it a little bit better. Alright, so there's that. Now, the next thing you do, you follow that up by pulling the needle all the way back out. Not like that. So I'm going to try to rig this real quick. As you can see, this is fun, right? This is fun. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. Nothing to look at. Doodle-doo-doo. See, there it is. Haha. Nope, I pulled it out again. Anyway, so you can kind of get the gist of how it works. And so what's supposed to happen here is now I'll punch through here and basically feed it through, loop it through. That's obviously not working well for me. I need more practice, so I'm going to leave that alone. So just real quick, they say if you're going to play with knives, eventually you're going to get cut. So safety warning, if you're playing with knives, be careful. That son of a gun hurts. So I'll be right back. We'll talk about how I did that. Alright, so let's talk about what happened. So I paused the video because I was getting frustrated because I screwed everything up and I wanted to work on that stitching. As you can see, I made headway. I'm actually about finished. All I've got to do is find my lighter and I swear I filled this lighter up more than any other lighter I've ever had for as little as I use it. You know what? That's pissed me off. You know, that was smart. Also, don't point flame towards you. Alright, so melted my bag a little bit, but as you can see, I've also welded that shut. So that is the Speedy Stitcher Sewing Awl. A-W-L. I'm from the South, so it probably doesn't come out right. That is an excellent thing to have for a self-reliance box, because that'll keep your gear going long after it started to fall apart on you. Yeah, I burnt the nylon a little bit, but still. Now that is essentially fixed. That's not something I have to worry about. What happened is, so I got that fixed, and I was trying to cut, and honestly I was using too big of a knife, but I was not even thinking about it. I just wanted to get it cut. Pulled out my Gerber strong arm, and was trying to cut it and wasn't thinking, and basically holding, stitching like this and cutting like this right here, holding, stitching in this hand, cutting like this right here, with the serrations, and when the serration popped, the knife then, as it was traveling, decided to catch my pinky. I cussed a little bit, and then I decided to give my quick safety briefing, show my wound, and then take care of it, because I have a first aid kit, right? Because I'm a responsible knife owner, responsible person. I have a first aid kit. So, Speedy Stitcher Sewing Awl. I think that's, no, I don't even know. Oh yeah, that is a $19.99 value. I am a big fan once I figured out how to use it right. Especially seeing that everything stores inside the cap here. So basically, you can throw it in your bag like that right there and it's good to go. And that's a wax coated thread and they sent some extra. So that is awesome for self-reliance. You can use that for boots. You know, if you ripped your jeans, you could do that. So that's awesome. Next is the Opinel No. 6 carbon steel knife from France. It's a $13 value. Opinel is a quality knife. They've been around for, 100 years, 100 plus years. And it's a pretty knife. So with this knife, carbon steel, all it is, this is a very traditional knife. Open it up, and then this head right here rotates around to lock the knife in place. That's just a pretty knife. Some people said theirs wasn't sharp. Mine is fairly sharp. Taking off some hair, I'm going to put a better edge on it. Yeah, I'm going to put a better edge on that. But this is a great knife, especially, you know, going camping or something like that, and you just want to sit around a campfire and whittle. Great for that detail work, basically. So that'll be going in the camping pack as I drop it. To keep around, just, you know, just cause it for detail work. Probably should have been using something like this to pop my stitches, right? Next, we've got the Marvel's Pocket Puck Knife and Tool Sharpener. Knife and tool sharpener. Cut it out. We'll see how it goes. So, dual grit, coarse side, fine side. Basically what you're doing on this, I'm not going to demonstrate this because actually I don't have anything big enough that needs to be sharpened right now. But if you think about like lawnmower blades or something like that, something that's big, you can't really fit on a sharpener, you just spit on it. That way it's got, you know, it reduces friction a little bit, and then you're just running it, you know, hold it just in your hand almost like a puck, and you're just running it along the blade. So, for example, I'm not going to actually sharpen it, but on this right here, I'd just be putting it right here on the edge of my hatchet and just sharpening up, and then same thing on this side, going to the same thing, so one up, keep the same grind pattern, and I'm going up. I'm not going to do it on that. You can also use it with honing oil, which for something big, I'd probably rather use honing oil. One of these days, I'm going to destroy that. So that is a great thing. They call it the pocket puck because it's designed just to go in your back pocket. That's great to keep around for machetes, axes, stuff like that. You know, it's not going to be the most used because a lot of those things can take a beating, but it's great for taking out the, it's a coarse and medium grit. But this is great for taking out like big nicks that you're going to put in it with chopping. Next on the list, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this right now. I'm going to put it back in the bag. Next on the list is the Ready Man Tinder Scraper. The pocket puck was $9. Ready Man Tinder Scraper. If I can find it. So this is Ready Man Tinder Scraper. I don't know. I've got a better version of something similar. It's a little wobbly, not as bad as a lot of the other cards. Got a little thing. It's a cheese grater basically, and it's meant for. There's no good way to do this. All right, hold tight. So as you can see on this, it's got some holes in it, and you could lash it around a stick if you want to with some 550 cord. But basically, all you're doing with this, I'm gonna see if I can do this without slicing myself. Is there's no good way to hold this in your hand. Yeah, there is. Just for video purposes. Basically, all you're going to do with this is that number right there. So that's the Ready Man Tinder Scraper. As you can see, I got myself a nice little, you know, beginnings of a pile. It's going to take some work. So that is good in a pinch. You can throw it in a bag, and it actually worked fairly well with my work glove, holding that even against the saw blade. we've got, if you're BattlBox subscriber, you've got something that's better that you've had for a while. The Smith's Tender Maker. And I say better because it's basically the same thing. It's a cheese grater. And it came with a little box under it. So like as you're sitting there scraping it, all these shavings fell into that box. So yeah, that's a Readyman Tender Scraper. One of the better things we've gotten from Readyman as far as cards go. So next, we're going to move on to the, all that was basic box. So that was a $25 box. Next is the advanced box, the $50 box. The first thing in that box is the Condor Kephart Blade Blank. It's a $18.69 value. And I'm excited about this one because I've been looking forward to this. I gave my Pathfinder blade to my dad. But this is it. So you got a blade blank. Some walnut blocks and pins. These are $8 for these two. So what is that? 26 bucks for, yeah, roughly 26, 27 bucks for a blade blank. It's a make your own knife kit. I'll be doing that project. And I'll probably post some photos along the way. We got another knife from Pathfinder. That was cool, but I ended up giving that to my dad as a Christmas present last year. So I'm looking forward to doing this one, it being my own. I'm gonna play around with that, with the wood block, see if I can do a bit of a design in that or a good thumb grip. So that's about all I have to say about that until I get it put together. Next on the list for $15 is the D4 Deadfall Trap. D4 Deadfall Trap. Alright, so this is the D4 Deadfall Trap. Deadfall traps have been used for, gosh, centuries for hunting. Goes in the ground right here. It's labeled G for ground. That goes in the ground. You set it up, make a figure 4. And then something heavy goes up here. And then you can put bait or something down here. It actually came with some spring wire, which I don't know what I just did with that. It's laying around somewhere. That's okay. But anyway, so bait goes down here. Something heavy sitting up here. So I'm just going to use my hand as my something heavy. Right, so I'm pushing down on that, and what happens, whatever you're trying to catch, it comes and it decides to go for bait, and your heavy item falls, crushes it. And then this thing just folds back up that small. That's 15 bucks. That's great. I'm actually going to play around with this, set this up in my backyard, see if I can get anything, because why not, right? So yeah, that's your $50 box. That's going to be your $50 box. This is moving. Sorry. That's I'm going to say that's a pretty good value for that. I'm excited about the Deadfall Trap. Next is a $100 box, the Pro Box. In it, there's only one item. It's the Zombie Tinder Bushcrafter Fire Kit. I'll go ahead and move this over here. And it's this box. It's a heavy little box. Comes with a large rubber band. It's quality rubber is what they say. And it includes a Ferrostrike V3 mag, Ferrostrike V4 SS, I don't know what that is, 2 dry climate tenders, 6 feet of jute twine. A lot of people say jute twine. It's like, what is that? Jute twine. 6-ounce hinge tin, which is this. 1 bag of jellied cotton char, 6 feet of 550 bow cord, and flint. So, you've got, we're going to start as basic as we can on it. So the first thing in there is the Ferrostrike, ferrocerium rod, magnesium. It's held in right here. This is your magnesium block. And basically, let me see if I can just get this going right here. You got good 90-degree edges on this. fun part is getting all that crud off. So yeah, that's not a bad strike. That'd be good to keep in a kit. You know, you can, as many ways as you can to start a fire, I'm a fan of. I'm still a big fan of my this one that I got myself. But you've got two compact versions, right? I'll play around with that. I'll compare and contrast, see how that works out. So that's the Ferro Striker. You've also got the Zombie Tinder eye. It's got a wick on it, or you cut it open and kind of flay it out. And this thing will burn for about 10 minutes. I got another couple of these. Is this it? Yeah. I knew I had it somewhere. We got these all the way back in year one with the Halloween box. Or the zombie theme box. They store well. It's supposed to have 2 in here. That's a known issue. So I've still got to contact Zombie Tinder to get my second one. But that's not bad. And these things burn for about 10 minutes, like I said. I'll throw those around. Then you've also got jute twine, 6 foot. Flay it out, kind of, get it kind of spread out good, and it'll catch a spark, or you can just take a lighter to it, and it'll burn almost like a, it'll burn almost like a wick, obviously. Or fuse is the word I was looking for. Next is the 550 paracord. Now, somebody, I swear, said this was supposed to be Titan cord. This is definitely not Titan cord. This is simply 550 paracord, or the equivalent of Titan cord, I guess, is what it was supposed to be. But this is just 550 cord. I'm not mad about it. This is, they put this in here. You can get your spark with these, or you can create a bow drill with this. Because with this as well comes their steel bow socket. Jellied cotton, so just cotton ball with probably some Vaseline. God, it's not loud until like right now. Really, some Vaseline and a cotton ball. Really simple. And then also is some char cloth. I'm gonna look into how to make my own char cloth because I think this stuff is cool, and it supposedly catches a wick or a light real good. So that's what comes in there. And then you've got some flint. Now this is something, flint and steel is something I definitely need practice on. Because I do not. All I'm doing is throwing flint into my eyes. This is a solid piece of metal. It is D1 steel, I believe is what they said. It's meant, you can do a bow drill in it, or hold the top of your bow drill. So as you're sitting there bow drilling, I've never tried bow drilling, so I'm not going to try now. So yeah, that is a $60 cost on that, or value on that. A lot of people are saying it's a little high. I agree, but then again, it seems to be a quality material. I mean, this is a solid piece of metal. So I think they said that alone is like 20 bucks, maybe 30. And then the Ferro Striker is another like 25, 30 bucks. So you're getting your money's worth just in those. However, I paid 25 for my Ferro Striker. So yeah, that's the Pro box. Next is the Knife of the Month Club, the Pro Plus. $150 cost. total value is $261.56 for this whole box. And in it is the Condor Primitive Bush Knife by Matt Graham. So I'm going to switch the camera down again and we'll get a better look at this. So the Condor Primitive Bush Knife by Matt Graham. It's a beautiful knife. Love the classic leather sheath, Condor logo on it. And that's the knife. Now, unfortunately, these had to be mass produced for BattlBox. And I've got one that has some of the mass production issues with it. For example, you can see the grind up here is kind of rough. If you can see it right here, you can see where this wasn't cleaned out real well after they made that cutout. Cutout has no practical use really. It's just supposed to be like a condor's eye. But it's really kind of a rough grind in there as well. Now the other problem that I had with this is mine is not sharp at all. Like, not at all. That's no big deal. I can put an edge on that with my work sharp. That's just annoying. I mean, I'd have to really press down, and that's, if you can see, I am pressing down pretty good, and that's not really doing anything. So, beautiful knife though. Designed to be carried this side on your pant, and then run this between your belt, and so your belt catches right here. Beautiful sheath. Has good retention to it, so that's always nice. So, because I can't leave well enough alone, I went ahead and put this on my grinder. Now, it's easily taking hairs off. So, real quick, let's see how this works for me. It's got this large flat spine, so batoning with it. It goes right through, no problem at all. So, also with that nice large flat spine, it'll catch a ferro rod fairly easy. I'm not going to do that right now, but it's also got this nice sharp tip, which is good for popping that up, right? And that worked fairly well. It's got a good point on it. It's designed for that. So, that is BattlBox Mission 33, the self-reliance box. Overall, big fan of everything that came in the box. Speedy Stitcher is something that I'm definitely going to be throwing in the bag. I'm probably going to try to find a couple more things just to do with. Sorry this video is a little longer than normal. If I hadn't have been trying to be, cool and demonstrate of the Speedy Stitcher, would have knocked about at least 5 minutes off the video. But aside from that, guys, really cool stuff. Big fan of this beautiful knife. So yeah, give me a like, subscribe, share the video with your friends. Let me know what you think down in the comments. All right, guys. As always, stay safe.